Assalamu alaikum. Today in this video, we will try to give some insight into migration of the Prophet Muhammad to Medina. What is Hijrah? Hijrah refers to the migration of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ around the year 622 CE from Mecca to Medina, back then called Yathrib. According to the Islamic terminology, migration is the act of moving from the land of persecution and war to the land of peace and safety, away from injustice and strife. Migration as a religious concept is not specific to the Prophet Muhammad, but so many prophets before him resorted to migration to save themselves, their followers, and their mission from enemies. This Prophet Abraham, who migrated to escape from his people who wanted to kill him. And Prophet Lot, like his uncle Abraham, escaped from his people who wanted him dead. Moses also migrated when the tyranny and persecution of the Pharaoh of Egypt got life-threatening for him. Why did Prophet Muhammad have to migrate? Mecca was then ruled by the Quraysh clan, a noble, rich, and powerful clan. Qurayshis made Mecca a very unsafe place for Muslims who were continuously persecuted, wronged, tortured, and even killed for following Prophet Muhammad. That was a valid reason to migrate. But the decision wasn't taken until Quraysh imposed sanctions on Muslims. They were boycotted socially and economically, so there were no more marriages from Quraysh and no more business with them too. The boycott harmed Muslims intensely, some of whom literally starved and had to eat tree leaves to survive. As if these sanctions were not enough for Qurayshis, they conspired to end the life of the Prophet Muhammad by killing him at the door of his house. Why did the Prophet choose Medina? Fortunately, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had the pledge of allegiance from two of the biggest, most powerful clans of Medina. These were the clan of Aus and the clan of Khazraj, who welcomed Islam with open arms. And while during their pilgrimage to Mecca, they had promised the Prophet safety if he decided to move and settle in Medina, feeling back then that life in Mecca was to become almost impossible for Muslims. How did the Prophet migrate? Once he got the permission from Allah to leave Mecca, he went directly to Abu Bakr's, his companion and lifelong friend, informed him of the news. Abu Bakr, being a rich noble of Quraysh, immediately donated financial help and didn't hesitate to accompany the Prophet in this journey. They set off disguised and left Mecca to a new future ahead for Islam and Muslims in Medina. What were the consequences of migration? In fact, migration was a crucial turning point in the history of Islam, because it was then the occasion of establishing the first Islamic state in Medina, which also gave birth to the creation of the first Muslim community. The state was successful because it banished social differences long suffered from while living in Mecca, in which the hierarchical social status gave privilege only to the noble and rich. In Medina, Muslims enjoyed civil rights and combated all sorts of corruption. They built up a society that first worshipped Allah and Allah only, and second, that implemented brotherhood among Muslims from all races and colors, and particularly between Muslims of Mecca, called Al-Muhajirin, the migrating, and the Muslims of Medina, called Al-Ansar, the Ansari. Right after arriving to Medina, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did two important things. First, he built a mosque for Muslims to pray, which is still standing today, and it's called Al-Masjid al-Nabawi. And he also made a pact with the Jews, being parts of the new Islamic State in Medina. The pact stated that they would enjoy their rights as citizens, that they would defend Medina together with Muslims should any attack happen, and that they would live in safety along with Muslims. To conclude, Hijrah revealed itself to have been a very successful and important event in the history of Islam and Islamic statehood. Muslims will always be grateful to the people of Medina, who are known up till today by their generosity and kindness, to how they received the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and their brothers who came from Mecca seeking refuge in Medina. No Muslim will ever forget their warm welcome and their willingness to share all they had with their guests.